Here we have Armani talks again. You know what? I feel bad. Like me personally, I'm not the most socially adept person. Like me in social settings, that doesn't work well with me. You know, that's I don't know how to take social cues. I'm not good at taking compliments. All that. But from the outside looking in, when I look at certain things, it's so easy for me to see. Oh, this is a setup. This is a setup question. So what Armani talks like in what a lot of women missed. I don't like what happens is women think that they're clever nowadays. Very particularly American raised. They think they're very funny and they don't realize they're being set up. Like I'll see like men ask certain questions, and it's a setup. It's a setup. I wish they would see this. So right here, this guy's gonna ask, would you date a man in a financially if he wasn't financially stable, and it wasn't. He was. Now I'll just show you her reaction. It's just her trying to be funny. Watch this.
Could you marry someone that wasn't financially stable?
No,
Hmm. Could you marry someone that wasn't financially stable?
no.
Hmm.
Now I've seen this male creator before, and I think he kind of makes male related content, kind of, sort of. Like I remember seeing him talk to somebody, literally convincing her to be a single mom. But what Armani talks, she was trying to be clever by saying that really fast, like, and just kind of, but she she doesn't understand that was a setup. That was a setup. And I'll explain why. If you ask a man that question, would you date a woman that's financially stable? And really, men don't care about that kind of stuff for the most part. And she doesn't realize he was just exposing. He basically just exposed two men, because that wasn't for people. Don't understand, that wasn't for women. That wasn't for women. That was really just to show men, like, look, you might think she likes you for you, but that's that's not what it is. Look how quick she said no. Meanwhile, if it was you on your end and you asked a man, hey, do you like, there's probably a man out there that really likes Armani for her. And what she makes, whether she made a podcast or not, whether she talks about this stuff or not, the man will still probably want to take her seriously because he likes her. You know, that's what the people that was criticizing Jonathan Owens and Simone Biles, they don't realize they exposed themselves, right? They were just like, shouldn't she? Basically, they want men to like women for their accomplishments, but that's not why men love women are like a woman. He likes her for her. Now, you, on the other hand, the man has to accomplish this, that, and the third, and the fourth, the fifth, and be a God-loving, God-fearing man, and six-pack and all this stuff. There's a lot of qualifications that you put on a man that you're not really that interested in to begin with, and that's a whole nother topic, a whole nother discussion. But all these things to disqualify, women usually have a lot of things to disqualify men, while men have, will qualify for a lot of things. Like they did that study, I forgot. I think this white lady had these studies. Basically, she asked a group of men, okay, if a woman had like 80%, if she met 80% of your standards, would you go for it? And basically all of them said, oh yeah. Now, basically she asked women the same thing. And basically most of them are like, oh no, he needs to meet this, that, and the third, and all that. Basically all the standards that she sets, he has to make all of them. And that's the difference. That's basically the difference. And Armani doesn't realize she kind of fell for that. But I want to show another video that she had. I don't know if I have time for that. But actually no. I'll do that for another time. But I wanted to show you this because in this day and age, I don't think like especially when we're talking about girls like Armani talk, she's rising up the ranks. She picks and chooses what kind of dude she has on her pod. It's her selection of men are very interesting. You know, I remember these will be the same girls that would complain about men bringing OnlyFans models on their show just to make them look bad. And now when women have the opportunity, they select the men that they select for these. Like if you look at Amani talks, the people, the dudes that she bring on there, she brings specific people on there. like she knows who to pick. You know, she is smart in that way. Like I said, Armani talks is like, I said this before about her. She's a what Family Guy likes to say, a black woman you're like a black woman in hindsight. And unfortunately, if you have if fellas, if you have a girl, the girl that you have is going to have a friend like Amani Talks being all up in her ear. Damn near all of them have a friend like this. That's basically anything that you do, she's gonna relay it to her, and she's gonna, oh girl, you don't need to deal with this, you don't need to deal with that, and you wondering why, man, why my girl tripping? It's because she has girls like that in her ear, where basically in hindsight, they're always geniuses in hindsight, right? Hence the term the black woman in hindsight. Now that same, like I said, the same girl like Armani, I hope I'm saying her name right, Amani. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. If she's in the same position, she's gonna fold to, she's the same type of girl. I get those same Cynthia G vibes from her in terms of she's gonna be the same type of girl. She put in that same position. She's gonna be taking care of a broke, unemployed ninja that's a genetic freak of nature, or he's a drug dealer, and she's gonna be simping for that. Meanwhile, her friend will have a normal, stable relationship, and she will try to talk her friend out of a normal, stable relationship because you decided to fall asleep after work instead of wash the dishes one time. That's the type of girl Amani Talks is. That same Cynthia G type vibes. Like when I saw Cynthia G and I heard how she was talking, I already knew what I was dealing with. I'm like, so because when Corey Holcomb brought her up and I started seeing her, I knew exactly what type of girl she was. I'm like, this is a Pookie lover that got her. This is a girl that is her heart broken by a drug dealer. This is why I don't take girls like Janae Aiko seriously, or her music. People that take her music seriously, because Janae Aiko literally makes music for women that get their heart broken by drug dealers, and then now the rest of the normal population, people that's living on planet Earth, got to deal with the backlash because she decided to go with a dude that lives above the law. And now we gotta deal with it. We gotta hear the songs. Then we gotta hear about this 304 keying up this ninja's car and all this stuff because you decided to be an outlaw. Where really you should have just relaxed and just find a regular dude and you would have been straight. You'd have been. I'm talking about literally zero problems. But that's girls like Amani Talks. She reminds me of Cynthia G in that end. Oh, this is why I brought up Cynthia G, because Cynthia G literally, that's what she did. She ended up getting pregnant by an unemployed dude, somebody that was her, that already had a baby mother, dude that already had a kid, if I'm not mistaken, or he already had a relationship. And I remember the guy's ex or his girl at the time revealed the text that Cynthia G was sending her, and it was the same typical nigga shit that I saw from Cynthia G. And I'm like, oh, she's just like the rest of them, And then she literally got pregnant by a Dusty, a legit Dusty, the same Dusties that she's complaining about. She got pregnant by. And then now she want to start advising all women, we need to abort black male babies and all this stuff. And her channel will get taken down until over the hill white woman brings it to the fucking mainstream attention. And niggas been complaining about her channel for years, but it's like, are you serious? She's literally shaping the minds of millions of black women, and she doesn't get her shit taken down. Meanwhile, when the opportunity presented herself, she gets intentionally pregnant by a Dusty, gets her heart broken by a Dusty, a dude that even though we hate Cynthia G, we would literally tell her, don't go out with this dude. Stop sleeping with this dude. But no, that's Amani Talks. A black woman in hindsight. That's the Family Guy joke for you. That's what I'm going to start using for these hoes. Sorry, I got a little bit worked up a little bit, but these hoes be getting on my nerves with this because I know when they're in that, they will talk their girlfriend, quote unquote, out of like a stable life or a stable situation. And then once it comes up to them, they will allow their dude to cheat. They will allow their dude to come in with outside kids. They will pay that man's child support if he owes any. They will do, they're like the woman version of the PUAs we got to deal with in the manosphere. We got these PUAs that are advising young men to do all these weird shit, grifting off young men, come by my course and all this stuff to pick up women. Meanwhile, these guys be having whole wives at home that they simping for. I'm talking about obeying. Yes, dear ass niggas. Yes, dear ass. And then these are the same people that are PUAs. That's basically the female version that we have with Amani Talks. Anyway. Look, man, The game is not. Let me see. I see a comment here said I did. It was a mistake. He still cheated and he is still. But nah. Okay. Let me bring up. Hold on for a second before I sign off. When you see comments like this, where she's saying I did, he was poor, it was a mistake. He still cheated and he is still poor. When you see comments like this, she either number one was dealing with a genetic freak, number two, one of the Chad Tyrone, number three, a guy with decent sex game. That was the best that she had at the time. But guys like that be living on like their living situation be crazy. I don't know what the last thing I was gonna say, but basically, or the guy, yeah, like the guys like this guy is a chatter Tyrone, or just a guy that's good with women, and guys that are getting all basically if they're getting all the pleasures of women, right? And they're already poor, but they're literally getting all the hoes. There's literally zero incentives for them to work hard. Like, you know those unemployed dudes that be getting all the hoes? We all know guys like this. If they're getting all the hoes and they're literally living in a basement, what's their motivation really to spend money outside of spending money on themselves to attract hoes? So they're still going to basically spend their money on haircuts, perfume, shoes, and stuff like that to attract women at the club and whatnot. If they're successful at it, even if it's not the prettiest of women, if they're consistently getting access to sex from multiple women, several women, and they're like living in a terrible situation, it's very little incentives for them to want to improve their life. And if you're in a situation like that, and women like that, they know guys like that have hoes. Oh, that's what I was going to say. And he's probably a low-key drug dealer or a tattoo artist, one of those guys. And guys like that begin hoes. So when you see comments like that, that's really what the situation was. That's all I wanted to say on that. He said the answer is no. But yeah, Amani, she didn't realize she got set up there with that question. She doesn't realize it. She don't realize it. And even like a lot of female comedians, well, she's not a comedian, but I'm just saying, like, I'll see like videos of female comedians try to make certain skits and they don't realize they're just making themselves look bad. They'll say certain things, like they get the camera, like now with the camera on, and now that they have the opportunity to talk, guys are being extremely turned off by what they're seeing. When we talk about, I always say the boom of the manosphere did not start with Kevin Samuels, in my opinion, even though he brought a lot of the normies to the mainstream. I believe the start of the curiosity really in the boom of numbers, in my opinion, because I've been watching this kind of content since 2016. And then even before that, I would always listen to Bill Burr, Patrice O'Neal, these guys, right? Corey Holcomb in 2016, listening to Corey Holcomb helped the algorithm on my YouTube. And it led me to like guys like Coach Greg Adams. And then basically from there, just well, no, first Tom Likas was the first guy, and then that led me to like Coach Greg Adams. That's when it led me to Hammerhand. These guys, Undead Chronic. Undead Chronic got like, he has, I don't know how many channels he done got booted off. He had like a lot of channels, not more than Tommy Sotomayor. And I'll say I first heard Tommy Sotomayor in 2012, 2013. And I would see him regularly appear on World Star when his videos would go viral, but I would never take it seriously. So I got to give Tommy his credit. But I'll say this, the boom of the manosphere that I saw, in my opinion, was when Ayesha Curry went on the Red Table Talk and talked about, I'm basically mad that I don't get attention from other men. That's when she did that bullshit on the Red Table Talk that day, and none of the women shut her down. And what was the worst part about it is when that video went viral on Instagram, it was women on top of young women defending this. And dudes were basically in the comment section like, but you're married. And I will say this, there was a lot of Patrice O'Neal disciples up in the comment section basically converting ninjas right in front of my eyes to the red pill. I saw it. I'm telling you, it was dudes with blue checks at the time that was literally in the comment section arguing with hoes. I'm talking about these are blue pill dudes with blue checks arguing with hoes that were their main fan base over this shit with the Ayesha Curry. They're just like, so you still looking? I thought all the attention you wanted was it was ninjas finally realizing they were being lied to. And I remember one specific one. I'm not gonna put it was a really famous dude. He was like, wow. He literally said in his comment section, I'll never forget this. He was just like, wow, I didn't know women thought like this. He said, because the comment section was literally full of a lot of his fan base or a lot of hoes basically defending what Ayesha Curry was saying. It was a lot of dudes because all the usuals. Because I knew about Kevin Samuels content even before he went viral. He was under O'Shea Duke Jackson and all these people in the Black Manosphere. So there's a lot like Obsidian. These people. They're all of these guys are connected. The lead attorney. All of these people. These people are a lot of those guys. The O'Shea I was subscribed to O'Shea Duke Jackson back in like 2016, 2015. I think even before. I think in college, that's when I think right before or during 2016, I subscribed to O'Shea Duke Jackson. It led me to a lot of these people. So, but I'm just saying the boom, I did not see that boom until that happened. And there was a lot of people looking for answers. And I remember Corey Holcomb and Zoe Williams had a show, The Mansions, that day. Because I remember when that dropped and then Zoe Williams had his Mansion show, man, could not wait. I could not wait. And it was on the same day. But Corey Holcomb decided not to expand on it because, in his words, he said, we talk about this stuff all the time. He was like, we talk about this stuff all the time. We already know how it is. That was basically his point on that end. And this is where I believe the boom, really, that was the start, in my opinion, before this message started getting mainstream, which I hated it. This is why I'm not really the biggest fan of like Kevin Samuels or Andrew Tate or those guys, because now anytime somebody says the truth, they can just dismiss it. Oh, you're just one of those Andrew Tate fanboys. You see it all the time. You'll say like one thing, and then I was like, oh, you're just an Andrew Tate fanboy. And you're just like, oh my God. Anyway, but that was the start. And what women, before ladies go on these podcasts and start talking, you guys need to do a self-reflection before you start talking on these cameras. Really do a self-reflection before you put your ideas, your ideals out there. And because of these hoes talking, these countries that you consider like patriarchal, they're doubling down on patriarchy. Now they're like Saudi Arabia, like these places, Russia, they're doubling down on patriarchy because of y'all hoes is talking and y'all talking too much. And you're making it hard out there. You're making it really hard out there for the genuine people out here. They're just looking for something, nothing fancy, just something genuine. You know what I mean? So this is why women like Amani talks, they don't understand the damage that they're doing long term. That's basically my point.